back to StockBox, and this week again, seems to be a familiar theme. Swazers, it's a Saturday night, and here we are doing ChartCast number 4. They just seem to be rapid, quick succession, but we're getting plenty of good feedback. Plenty of people are liking them, so we thought, why the hell not? We're both quite sad on a Saturday night. We've got nothing better to do than sit and look at charts. Nah, I'm only kidding. Honestly, I love it. How are you doing?
Kenny, how you doing, mate? Yeah, I'm pretty good, thanks, Kenny. Yeah, they seem to be going really well. You know, I'm getting a lot of feedback my side on my Twitter and what have you, and social media, and I think that you guys are as well. So brilliant. Let's just carry on giving the people what they want.
Yeah. Let's feed the bear, for want of a better term. But before we start feeding the bear, why don't you run over your disclaimer as you do every week, just to get it out of the way?
No problem. So disclaimer, guys, no investment advice provided. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. These are simply our opinions. We're not advocating anyone to buy, sell, or hold. These are for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please read the disclaimer in your own time.
Good stuff. And I'm just looking through the list that we're going to be talking about tonight. So it's going to be rapid. It's looking about 17 or 18 stocks. So without further ado, let's jump straight in. AVCT, Avacta, Twitter favourite.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know I've given you a big list tonight, Kenny, and I know that you've got a few hot picks as well. So I thought to myself, let's just start with with some very interesting and popular movers into it. But just before I do that and jump into the charts, if it's all right, Kenny, I'd just like to very quickly, rapidly, just cover some of the wins that we've had. These are recent wins from Swazers Charts on Twitter. And I know that a lot of these tickers, Kenny, that we've covered in these series of chartcasts and market musings that we've started at the beginning of the year, if that's all right with you.
Yep, not a problem. On you go.
All right, brilliant. So we've had winners with VRS, huge winner with VRS. That was a multi-bagger. BLDP is another big winner. VLS was a big winner. DEV, IME, ADME, 7DIG, that went good guns. That was another winner that we've called. All these winners we have called on Twitter and in the chart. And it's a mixture between Twitter and the chartcasts. Check out the tweets to back everything up. I know that many people who follow me will know that. Anyway, NTOG was a nice little mover that we covered. EQT, POW, of course, was a beautiful winner. NCYT, that's moving lovely now. That's also another lovely winner. KDNC, ITX was a huge winner. Multi-bagger with ITX. And yeah, off the top of my head, that's what I can think for the winners. And the other ones we can cover, ODX, SYME, or Finel or GP. We can maybe, if we've got time at the end, look at them, because it looks like hopefully most of them will be doing what we thought we have projected.
All right. Okay. Good stuff. Well, let's move on to potential winners then. Let's go for it. Start with Avacta.
All right. So what I've been doing is just like really drilling down into the charts with a little bit more detail. And the students in the Discord, they're probably sick of seeing my charts now, but I've posted a lot of charts in the Discord and a lot of charts. I've had a chartathon session as well for Twitter and the Discord. And I've noticed with these tickers that there's some really interesting movement. So AVCT on the daily, right? We can see that I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the new structure to it. And there's a couple of key levels that price needs to get over with the AVCT. But I honestly feel, and looking at the charts, Kenny, that I think it's going to want to test at some point soon. I think it's going to want to test this resistance again at 202. Now, I think it'll want to test it in the medium term. Right, it might take a few months or so for it to get there. Who knows? But I think it's bullish. Now, obviously, guys, just for the record, right, and for the listeners and the viewers, when I'm talking about these charts, these are not setups and they are not entries into any market. No financial advice is given. This is the general direction and the trends, and with this system of technical analysis for the record. Okay, I just wanted to make that point. But looking at AVCT, I think we've got a nice little uptrend here, more local action. I'll just screw down to the 4-hour chart. I think there's a nice emerging trend, as we can see on the 4-hour, right? And I think it looks to me like price may want to use this structure, this smaller trend within a larger trend, to in the medium term, in the more local action, to test 205. Anything can happen, boys and girls, as we all know. But I just really like the way AVCT is looking on the charts.
Yeah. Is that I mean, like I say, I'm still learning as I go along. So is that an ascending triangle I can see sort of drawn in the background?
Yeah, that's correct. Well done, Kenny. It's a triangle configuration. You can call them whatever you want. I have I won't say a weird way of drawing them, but I have my own way of drawing them, which seems to really, really help us and the students in figuring out price action. It's like a funnel, as you can see. I expect price to bounce around within this funnel, testing these levels. But of course, price can always come down to lower support. But I think that's the general trend. Smaller channel, larger channel. It looks like it's trying to test at some point soon to medium 203. And then we've got the potentiality of this market structure up ahead. Just looks like something's cooking with AVCT, to be honest with you.
All right. Okay. Perfect. Right. Keep an eye on that one. Next one in the list is an old favourite of mine. It's Power Metal Resources. There always seems to be some action on it, but I believe you've kind of drilled down a bit deeper into the chart this
Matrix.
week.
The Matrix.
The Matrix. Okay.
By the way, I love the podcast with Doc Holiday the other day. That was a couple of days ago. Whenever you guys did that, that was awesome. By the way, really enjoyed that.
We managed to calm him down. He was a bit stressed out before he came on, but he had one outburst, which he'll be charged for. So he will. We'll have the swear box, and he'll get charged for it. But no, it's good. It's good to have him on. He's a character and a half.
I'm just trying to find this ticker. I'm having a problem with my mouse.
No,
his character is awesome. People love that, though, don't they? People love a character. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. Oh, we've got a dream within a dream within a dream going on here.
I'm having we've got a dream within a dream within a dream, but I might need to swap mouses for some strange reason. Just give us a sec, Kenny. I'm having technical issues here. Typical in a live recording. Give us 1 sec and I will try and rectify this issue I'm having. You know, I do an equipment check before every ChartCast, and then for some strange reason, my primary mouse stops working. Give us a sec. Sorry about this.
That's all right. No worries. We'll just we'll keep it in just to prove that it is live, and well, it's not edited anyway as such.
Right, we're back on.
There we go. There we go. Good stuff.
Back on. Ridiculous. Sorry about that, guys. Right. Okay. Now, POW. As you know, I was quite late to the game with POW, but when I charted it out, I called POW at about, I think it was at about this level here. I called it on Twitter. I called the bounce at like 2 and a bit, and then the chart was very accurate with the rise all the way up to 3.5 or whatever it was. Kenny, you know all about POW. I think you've had the CEO on StockBox Media, you and Mark and all the rest of it. And I've heard that they've got 9 projects. He's a very hardworking guy, and he's really driving this company forward. And that's what the word on the street is. And I don't know a lot about fundamentals, but what I've heard about this company is all good.
I concur. Yeah, it's certainly you're right. It touched about 3.5. I think it was just before the end of the year. I can't. You'll be able to tell me. You've got the chart there.
Yeah. Now, interesting, right? Interesting is a word I love to overuse, obviously. Just to recap on POW, right? Consolidation. We've touched on this before. Then went into this new trend, the first bullish trend. Okay, then it went into the second bullish trend, right? Where I then called it and called it successfully. Now, looking at the charts, I think this is an idea. Of course, I may be wrong. But looking at the charts, I think I may have figured out a new, more bullish configuration in the chart, because there's a lot of touches with this trend line. Price bounced off this significant level here, as we can see. When price retraced and then touched like 2.6, came back with a bullish candle. Now, I think the market makers, or the people that move the markets, or whatever you want to call it, whatever idea you subscribe to, I think it might want to start retesting the 88, the all-time high again, using this new potential bullish structure, as you can see there, Kenny.
Yeah, certainly. Certainly looks interesting, and we know from Power that they're never short on news. There's always news getting thrown into the mix at least once or twice a week. Well, with 9 projects, it's hard not to have news every other day, because they're pretty much active with them all. But no, I'm a shareholder in Power, so yep, I would love to see a new bullish channel and all-time high getting broken in the next couple of weeks. That'd be great.
Just to spend another 30 seconds on POW, right? And I hear exactly what you're saying. If this is the new structure, you see it now, Kenny. We're on the 4-hour chart, right? This is how price moves, right? I'll just show you something which I find. I'm just going to jump back to the daily chart. So if this is, because I have anyone that follows me on Twitter and the students, they know that. Trend shift is one of my specialities. It's how I was able to call GGP, and it was how I was able to predict that GGP a month or so ago would smash through its all-time high. This was the same sort of charting methodologies that I use right now. If I just show you this, because this is fascinating to me. Right, you see this little triangle that I've drawn there, Kenny?
Yep.
This is how price moves, right? So what we've got the new potential lower support, which is the new trend that I'm saying could be a real thing, right? Even though we've called it with the second bullish channel, I think this could be the new support. So if this lower level here, right, is the new support, this higher level is the previous resistance of the second bullish channel. And I hope I'm not getting too complicated here. The listeners and the viewers, but I don't think so. So price goes into like a vortex. It's like a funnel, and it's a battle between buying and selling. And I've seen it play out so many times before. We've got these key levels. We've got all-time high above 3.5. We've got the new possible support of the lower channel, and then we've got former resistance of the other macro channel that's been in play. So I expect price to want to start probing this all-time high at some point soon. It might drop back, but if it starts finding support at this trend line here, Kenny, we might have a good chance that we've got it right. That's all I wanted to cover.
Yep. All right. Well, no doubt in future ChartCasts we'll revisit and see if your analysis comes true, so to speak. Yep. Interesting couple of weeks ahead for Power, I think. All right, moving on quickly, we have another stock in the mining sector, zinc and gold, ARIK Resources.
Yeah, ARIK. Yeah, no problem. Very quickly with ARIK. Again, this was the new bullish. If you remember from last time with ARIK, it's a lot of stuff in these sectors appears to be finding new bullish channels, right? From what I can see. So we had this macro uptrend channel, which started March 2020. Okay. And then I've suggested that this could be the new direction for ARIK, if you remember from our previous ChartCast, Kenny, which I'm sure you do.
Yep.
So if this is the new bullish channel, it's now formed a bull flag. Right, and it might use this bull flag. It's using this bull flag to navigate within this structure. Now, it has touched the top, so there is a possibility. There's always a possibility that once price has touched the top, it'll want to come back down and interact with these lower levels. Okay, but in the medium term, we might have a more bullish uptrend with ARIK. I like the way it's moving. This could be, again, the new trend. It's a bullish trend anyway, but it might look to test market structure in the medium to longer term, like, be over 3p plus.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting one. I know they've got some drill results pending from a drilling campaign in their Stone Park zinc project. So I'd imagine they're pretty much due in the next, in Q1 anyway. I don't know when the results are due, but I think it was mentioned. It was certainly early in Q1. So could be an interesting few weeks ahead for Harco Resources. Okay, moving away from natural resources, we're coming to Blue Star, which we've covered before, Blue Star Capital, which is an investment company with a focus on esports and investments in technology.
I just remember some pop group from the 90s. You mean it's not them, Kenny?
No, they've been laid out to pasture. They're too old now. I can't even remember their names.
Oh, mate, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a long time ago for us lads, isn't it, Kenny?
I know. Yeah, we're both the same age, aren't we? We're both 48.
Yeah. Oh, dearie me, mate. So here we go, right? We we've spoke about blue in depth, but I think I've might have sussed out what it's doing. There's the macro uptrend, bullish uptrend. Within the macro, we've got a channel within a channel. I think this is the trend. I think it's going to use this trend, in the near future to want to test these upper limits. We can see that price came up, came back down, bounce, resistance form, sell off. And then it's, this is how price moves. It moves within channels and channels within channels. So I think this is what it's doing. It's a lovely mover. It's nice and fluid. At some point in the near future, blue may want to test these levels of, point, 332, 334. And because that's the macro channel. We've already had a lower interaction with the macro channel. Now we've got these nice channels we can see there. I just wanted to drill down in detail a little bit more, then we could see what's going on with blue.
Yeah, no, it's a fun favourite out there in Twitter, and there's not that many companies that have got esports interests, so there's always going to be an interest in esports investments. But okay, moving on back to natural resources. We should have done this in a better order, Swazers, but never mind. Variety is the spice of life. Chesterfield Resources, Cyprus. They were getting about, so we're getting about tonight. We're jumping about the world.
I apologise. It's my fault because my fundamental knowledge is no good, and I just look at the chart. So I apologise for jumping around everywhere like we are doing, but
makes it more interesting. So it does.
I really like CHF, right? If anyone who follows me on Twitter, look back to mid-November, I made a tweet about it in the week, and I always link the tweets together. Then you can see the chronological order. I called CHF when it was at, let me think from memory, 0.510. I called it, and I think it was like mid-November. So that was a massive call for Swazer's charts. Now, CHF is a lovely uptrend, as we can see on the macro chart. It's very bullish, and we have had some lovely movement with this ticker, with this stock. Came down, descending triangle. It's cooking, right? It's cooking. So what it's doing, by the looks of it, it's moving along in this micro consolidation zone here, Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when it gets to these levels here, we might see some movement, but that's not that long off. According to the charts, it's going to be like late January or mid to late January. Price might start interacting. And then I'll be looking for setups, and then I'll be looking for entries, personally speaking. But I do like the macro trend. It's really nice. I think moving forward, I think these EMAs will begin to converge a little bit closer together when we see price, approaching the location of this lower support. But I've always liked the way it moved 6 months ago or so. when I first started charting out on Swayze's charts on Twitter, and then subsequently the call we made, I think in November.
Yeah, I do have some Chesterfield shares, so I do. I mean, a bit of a story with Chesterfield. I mean, it's one of Doc Holliday's favourites as well, and he was always on my case. You need to get some, and he moaned at me. It's a 3 and 4 pence, and it spiked up to 6, and
ouch.
I never seem to get the timing right. So yeah, I bought some at 8 pence, took a bit of profit, and so I'm back in now, round about the 13 pence. So let's see how it goes with Chesterfield. And again, they've got drilling results due as well, so there is news flow to go along with the technical analysis. All right, in your weird and wonderful way, we're going from natural resources now to gasification. There we go. ECTEC.
What's that? EQT?
EQT, yeah.
Gasification. You sounded like Wallace and Gromit then, Kenny. More cheese.
Yep, gasification. That's their technology. Yep, it takes like a landfill waste and creates useful energy from it. It's
called. It's all messed up.
Gasification. Yeah,
well, I called EQT as well. I mean, anyone who follows the Swayze's charts will know that we called it ages ago. Nice cup and handle continuation pattern there, by the way. You see them all over the markets when price is bullishly going to start moving, and that's a classic cup and handle continuation pattern. And then it came down an ascending asymmetrical descending triangle, consolidated, and then boom. Right, so let me just try and make head and tail of this chart. Right, okay, here we go. So the more local macro uptrend now with EQT, it's just a nice mover. We've got this consolidation zone. Sorry, the chart was a bit messed up. We've got this consolidation zone now. Price came down, found support, started consolidating. So what's it going to do? Is it going to move with this consolidation zone and want to interact with lower levels, or is it going to break above these levels here? We've got, as you can see, the daily, the last day of trading, price was struggling to get above these levels. 2.41 is a key level. 2.41 is a key level that price needs to break if it's going to start visiting this market structure up ahead, or will it want to consolidate and use this micro consolidation like price does in a lot of times, Kenny, to seek interaction with these key levels below. Mm-hmm. Either way, I like the way it moves. We've called it before. It's a fluid mover. This, I suspect, is the new macro uptrend. And let's see what happens in the coming weeks and months with EQT.
Yep. Keep an eye on that one as well. All right, back to natural resources again. I love how this is going. And we're going to Africa with Premier African Minerals.
I've never, you know what? I've ever been to Africa in my life. I'm trying to remember. I don't think so. It's one place that I've never been.
No, I've not been to Africa either. Well, Tenerife, I suppose, is off the east coast of the west coast of Africa, isn't it? But that's part of Spain. Yeah.
But I've been there. I've been there, same as you. Had some fun. Do you remember the old? What was that? What was that place in Playa de las Americas called, Kenny, back in '90s and early noughties?
But Veronica's.
Oh, that's the one, mate.
Yeah, because Gary Lineker's brother had a bar there called Lineker's, and it was the place was just you wouldn't drink there if you were at home, but because you were on holiday, there was cheap booze. We used to walk across the bar floor, and it was just like broken glass and just crunching. It was just, but it was great.
It's like being back at home. It's like being back at home for us lads, Kenny. What are you going on about?
It was great, I must admit.
Right, so Prem, right. So I sent a tweet out on Prem, I think, in the week. It might have been Thursday or Friday, and it really gained a lot of traction. And I know that a lot of, I can't divulge too much information, but some of the students and members of the Discord have got a keen interest in Prem as well. And the word on the street is that, this was before I did the quick chart. So the word on the street that it was moving. So I did a quick chart on it. And it's a ranging market state, the macro, right, came down, sold off heavy, as we know, right, started selling off like locally, like May of this year, sold off hard, But then we've got this local consolidation zone, right, Kenny?
Mm-hmm.
Which are these levels here? Price resisted at like, 0.634, resisted, and then consolidated. But interestingly enough, I'm embracing this word, we've got a potential uptrend, right? Well, we've got an uptrend by the looks of it now within this larger consolidation. Will price use it? Will the bulls come back and use it to retest these levels of resistance at 0.0642? And if they do that and price breaks, what I like about Prem, there's a lot of fresh air up ahead, Kenny.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just from a fundamental point of view, I mean, the company is refinanced just at the tail end of last year, so they've no debt anymore. They've got some interesting projects, especially in Zimbabwe, but obviously there's been a bit of country risk there in the past, so that's probably the reason why you've had that big sell-off that you pointed out, a few minutes ago. But no, Prem's definitely on the watch list. So it is for me. Again, there's a lot of shares in this issue. It's probably one of the most liquid stocks in AIM. So there's always a trade in Prem. You never seem to have any bother buying and selling. So that's why it's so popular. But
since 2017, sorry for cutting in, Kenny, right? We've had this macro ranging market state, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of. I know it's sold off for a long time, but the bigger picture, look at this key level here. You've got this key level up ahead of 0.2646. Now, I know there's that. So I know there's a lot of work. I know there's a lot of work to get to that. I'm certainly not saying it's going to get to that anytime soon. However, right, there's always stages within market structure that it has to overcome. There's resistance up ahead, but if price in the short term wants to retest, like I said earlier, 0.0618, I think there's a lot of space up ahead. There's some key resistance levels, but let's see what happens with Prem. And I completely agree with you. It's got a lot of popularity, and I don't know a lot about the company, but I know what I see in FinTwit sphere, and I know what I see in the charts.
Yep. Good stuff, right? Moving on into the world of pharma, we have Gene Drive, which is a company I know not very much about.
Yeah, GDR. Right, okay, here we go. GDR. Right, got it. Sometimes it's like I forget the alphabet, you know what I mean? But I probably have, because it was like, 100 years ago since I was at school, mate, Yeah. Right, there we go. Got GDR on the daily, right? So we've covered GDR before. Ranging market state, sell-off, consolidation. It's just ranging market state. Then we had that. Then we had that hard dump on the 9th of November. Then we all know why. News. Say no more than that. So all I wanted to briefly mention with GDR, because I do know there's a lot of interest out there for it, Kenny. Right? We've got a micro consolidation zone. That's what's happening. Micro consolidation zone, and it's been in this micro consolidation zone now since early December. Excuse me. It's been in this micro consolidation zone since early December. So, a key level again, 52.2, key level below 42.4. And until price breaks those zones, really, nothing's really happening. It's just literally consolidating. But again, if price and the bulls and the buyers want to come in, there's a lot of fresh air up ahead.
Yeah, definitely fresh air, as you say. No, it's one that I have. I mean, we've talked about it a couple of times, so I have been kind of not looking at it, but it's on my monitor. Put it that way. I've not got to the stage where I'm drilling down and actually looking at the company, but it certainly looks as if it's wanting to do something, but as you say, it could just bounce about in that range. It needs a catalyst, doesn't it, to get out of that range?
Yeah, I always say to the students, right, and to people on Twitter, look, right, you need patience in this game. I've seen stocks like POG, right, that consolidated and micro range for 9 years. I'm not saying this is going to do that, but always remember, guys, the market makers, right? They'll move it when they're ready to move it. Until then, unfortunately, if you get stuck in a move like this, it is painful, but you've got to have the patience.
Yep. Patience is key with a lot of things in life. All right. Yeah. Moving on to POG, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it.
All right. Yeah, we can have a quick look at POG. You're right. I've called POG before. I called some big moves with POG 5 months ago or so. Very, very quickly. Yeah, it's Petropavlovsk PLC. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've only had a cup of tea today, so no strong stuff yet. What we've got on the daily chart is we've got a lovely macro uptrend, right? Lovely macro uptrend with POG. I called these moves, if I remember rightly. These moves here, got some beautiful moves out of it. Sold off, came down, found support. We've got a lovely channel within a channel. It's at a key area. Interesting. Let's see whether or not price will want to come up and locally test 35.25, 35.40. It might consolidate along the bottom, but we've got a nice market structure for a lovely little play on it. Not financial advice. It's currently at 31.2. That's POG.
POG. And staying with Russian, well, it's not Russian stocks, but it's got a resource in Russia. We've got Eurasia Mining.
Oh, EUA.
EUA, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Right, yeah. EUA, it's yet to make its move. It made a bit of a move. I think 13%, but then sold off. I just wanted to cover it dead quickly because there is quite, as you know more than me, Kenny, there's quite a lot of interest around it. I cleaned the chart up a little bit. EUA on the daily. I've got this as the trend, right? Let's see whether I'm right. We've got micro consolidation zone. That was the nice up jar move we had at this key area. Okay, prices again, Kenny, micro consolidating along, in my opinion, this key area. If price wants to break, sometimes I love it when they break to the low, right? When they break to the low, sometimes it's even better because then they come back in and then you game on, right? Mm-hmm. But with EUA, yeah, there's levels, a key level of 45.05 if price starts moving bullishly, but we've got this potential market structure. I just like the look of it, right? On the charts, I like the look of it. I think it's going to bounce soon. That's just my opinion looking at the charts. What else can I say?
Yep. Yeah, again, it's another favourite. I mean, I think the market cap, I've not checked it for a while, but it's hovering around about £1 billion. So it's came a long way since it's, I mean, I can remember when it was a £5 million, £6 million market cap.
What's the market cap? Did you say £1 billion, Kenny?
Yeah, I'll just tell you, hold on. I'm sure it's about £1 billion.
Wow.
Because Eurasia and Greatland were competing, I think, to see who could get to £1 billion first. Yeah, it's £828 million market cap at the moment. So it was probably £1 billion when it was up at your 45 pence. And I'm pretty sure from memory, Greatland Gold is over £1 billion. Yeah, 1.28 billion. Yep.
Yeah.
And
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and again, that was a £3-4 million stock as well. So it just shows you what can happen in the casino that we know as the AIM stock market. It can.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You got this micro consolidation right now. A lot of the times, right, price will not, as you know, many of the viewers will know this, right? Price will not just play. It won't play a game. It will never play how you want it to play, right? And they do it for a reason, right? So you say you get it on a setup, right? Brilliant, boom, take you out, right? Take you out. And then, up it goes, right? All the buyers come in, but there's key levels ahead of resistance, and then sell off, take you out. It'll go up when it's ready, but looking at it, I think it's gonna, I think it's gonna go at some point. Let's see what happens. I called it according to my system of TA. Let's see whether I'm right.
All right, okay, keep an eye on that one in the coming weeks. Moving on, one I have no idea about, ticker CNA. In fact, I'll need to
yeah. No problem. This is just one that I've tried out. I've had this tried for quite a while. I don't know what the interest is in it. Centrica PLC. Yeah. CNA, aren't they the database company? Centrica, is that right? The database company?
I thought Centrica used to be British Gas. Don't know.
Is it?
Maybe I don't know.
Might be right. Yeah. I'm sounding like a moron now. I'm to sound. People will be laughing their arses off at me. You're absolutely right. It's a different ticker. The one I was thinking about begins with a C. But when you've got 350 charts, you can get a bit confused. You are right. It is Centrica. It was British Gas. Correct. You're absolutely right. I'm thinking you're right anyway.
Yeah.
I think you're right. But anyway, right, it just shows how much about fundamentals I know. I'm all about the charts, but the charts have not let me down, to be honest with you. And, you go with what works for you at the end of the day. Now, we've got people like Afzal Vali and yourself and other people who are, kings when it comes to fundamentals. I try and specialize in my area, which is TA, and it's, look at the track record we've got. It's just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
And call the winners.
That's
me trying to make up for sounding like a moron for not knowing who CNA was.
That just looks like a horrible chart, doesn't it?
Now I'm going to show you something interesting, Kenny. Right, bear with me, my bonny lad. Does sound like a native Scot when I talk like that?
No, shit.
Oh, okay, fair enough, pal. Right, so no worries, mate. Right, so what we've got? I've got a lot of Scottish fans, on Twitter. You want to watch out, Kenny? I'll send them around to your house, pal. I've got a lot of Scottish people that follow me. So we've got this 7-year downtrend, right, which indeed was shit for anybody that, decided to buy this all-time high here, right? So look at this downtrend. This is just complete misery for 7 years. And, it reminds me of the, and I'm not laughing. I am not laughing because I've been in that situation before. I'm sure you have as well. It's one of the reasons why I decided to learn technical analysis. Right, you get in and then all of a sudden you took out with a short squeeze, right? Downtrend, trending like a good one, but just in the wrong direction. Unless you're selling. If you're selling, you're buzzing because you're making millions out of it, right? Not financial advice. So 7-year downtrend we see in air, right? But what is interesting is we've got this pullback within the downtrend, right? So macro downtrend, pullback, Kenny. Soon, CNA will want to test this 7-year downtrend according to the charts. So let's see what happens. It's cooking. There's a lot of work for it to do. Might retrace, but soon. Keep your eyes out. A lot of the students actually have been successfully using this pullback. Right? They've been successful with this pullback. You can get involved with pullbacks. You just got to be careful when the macro trend's a downtrend. But I just thought a 7-year downtrend is significant. I've called out these reversals before. The AA was one of them. ACP, MSMN, I think, as well. Off the top of my head, there's been many more. I can't quite remember all of them. There's loads of reversals that I've called out. Just thought it was interesting. I'm sure that, not the FinTwit sphere per se, but there'll be, a lot of people interested in Centrica PLC.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, when you showed me that chart originally, it looked horrific, but you can see that sort of light at the end of the tunnel potentially. So yeah, I'll add that one to my monitor as well. Yeah, I'm going to need a bigger monitor. I think I'm going to have to create two. I think I'll create I'll create a Swazer's ADVFN's quite good. You can create multiple monitors, so I might need to create a specific Swazer monitor and just see what's going on. Makes it nice.
I do all this off a smartphone, mate. 5-inch screen.
Yeah, I know. I've got a phone. I don't know about the smart bit though. No, I don't think I fall into that category. All right.
Yeah.
From one sort of gas company to another sort of gas company, then Mossman Oil and Gas.
Are we getting through all these, by the way, Kenny lad?
Yeah, we're getting through them. Yeah, I think that's about 12 in.
Right, no worries. Anyone that follows me knows I'm a chartaholic, but you know what? You've got to do something with your time in these, in these difficult situations, right? Got to keep ourselves going somehow.
Definitely.
Right, okay, dead quickly, we've covered it before. We've got a lovely little uptrend going on. I've had to do a slight redraw. We do things called redraws in technical analysis touch dominant trend lines. We've got to redraw because the markets are fluid and dynamic. They're always moving, as we know. Done a redraw. This is the 4 hour. That's a lovely candle. There's nice market structure up ahead. This is the channel within the channel. I think this channel will take us, at some point in the future to 0.2730-ish, those kind of levels. Let's see whether or not this support continues in the coming weeks. That's it.
Nice, short and sweet. All right, okay, we'll keep an eye on that one as well. That's Mossman Oil and Gas. I've not actually wrote any down yet. I wrote a couple down last week. I wrote Chesterfield down and I bought some Chesterfield, but I've not wrote anything down. You'll need to try and grab my attention with one of your stocks. Right, well, let's move on to Conroy.
Wait a sec, Kenny. I'm sat here giving it everything I've got, showing 12, 13 charts, fourth podcast, ChartCast, working me bollocks off. And you have the audacity to say I'll have to try to get your attention, one of my stocks, after I've called out about 1 million winners in the past couple of weeks. Are you having a laugh, pal?
It's got to mix with my fundamentals and your technical. It's got to be a match, so it has.
Right. You're off your head, pal, but I like you. Go on, mate.
Yeah, you got me off. Conroy Gold.
Yes. CGNR, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm looking at the G's, because I'm dyslexic. KO, right, CGNR. Let's have a look at it. Here we go. Right, so we were trying to suss it out. This is the macro. As we know, it was consolidating, and then this local macro uptrend started. Beautiful bullish uptrend. Now, remember, we had that significant level, wasn't it, of 45.8-ish, Kenny, as we were all going on about. We've mentioned this several times before.
Yep.
Price has tried to touch it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Tried to touch it. It's touched it a few times, then came close, sold off. Now, I know it might look a bit depressing, this little big red sell candle, but we did say that was the possibility if it couldn't get past, didn't we, Kenny? We said if price doesn't want to break it straight away, it might sell off, no problem. But what interests me a great deal with CGR is that price came down, sold off. This was solid red, this little candle here on the daily, as we can see. But then last trading day of last week gave us a nice little wick. I have an idea that price will use this triangle configuration to restart retesting these levels again. Let's see if this macro uptrend is validated with these ideas. I have to go with my guts. Looking at the charts, I think it's going to move within this structure, and I think it'll want to keep testing. If it eventually does break, which hopefully it will, we've got the potential of this market structure up ahead. We've mentioned this before. I don't want to spend all day on it, but I just wanted to give a quick update.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No. It's again. I think everybody with Conroy is just sitting waiting the joint venture being signed off. I think that was perhaps a slight reason for the drop off during the week. There was some comments from Anglo Asian that it was delayed slightly, but we'll see. We'll see in the coming weeks. I think COVID's been messing about with a lot of site visits and things like that. So yep, I'm keen to see where Conroy goes, as I do have some shares, and as does my wife. She has some shares as well. So there we go. Right, Conroy done and dusted.
Let's hope it does what we think it's going to do.
Yeah, hopefully. VLS.
Yes, that was a big winner with us as well. I think I mentioned that. Called VLS out. It was a big winner. I'm just trying to remember. I've redrawn it a little bit, and I think I noticed something. So as I'm waffling, I'm trying to find it on the charts. V. That's down at the bottom, isn't it, V? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers. Well, like I said, next week I'm going to learn how to tie my shoelaces, mate. Here we go.
Good.
Right, VLS. Right. Look at that. So we called VLS, and it was a big winner for Swayze's Charts Discord. Tweeted it. Many of the students have been charting it in the Discord. Macro uptrend, daily chart. Right, we had a lot of room, came up. This is a long squeeze followed by a short squeeze. descending triangle, and then we've got more local action. We've got this lovely uptrend. Now, as we can see, Kenny, resistance using micro consolidation. So the question is, will price use this structure to navigate again, Kenny, over to these levels of support? And then will it bounce? And we've got some nice fresh ore up ahead. I just like the way it's moving on the charts. More medium to longer term, will price use this structure to test these upper levels in the future? Possibly. Will price want to bounce down? It can do anything it wants, but we can see it's a bit of like a spike and consolidation. That's what I would teach it. Spike consolidation, and it's doing it within this structure of this smaller channel. That's about it. When we screw down to the 4 hour, we can see in a little bit more detail. That's what is occurring. Spike within this structure of this smaller channel, consolidation. Will price use this consolidation zone to interact with these key levels here? That's about it with VLS.
All right, cool. All right, moving on to one that I'd asked you to chart out because I took a small position last week, just simply for the fact that the market cap is about 2 million quid or something. Tertiary Minerals, TYM.
Yeah.
And all these 1, 2 and 3 million pound market cap companies eventually seem to have their day in the sun and go on a nice run.
Well, I mean, that story you were just telling me about just before, who was it again with a massive market cap now?
Oh, Eurasia Mining.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, good luck. You see, at the end of the day, right? We want these businesses to succeed. We're not going on about selling here. We're going on about buying and progress, and this creates jobs and infrastructure. It's not just about like a few people making some punts in the air market and making a few quid. There's a bigger picture to all this, isn't there, Kenny, at the end of the day as well?
Yep, definitely, 100%.
So TYM, right? What we've got, we'll just jump back to like Feb of this year. We had this pump and dump, whatever you want to call it, right? And then we've got this larger state here, these levels. So we've got a key level of 0.458, and below it we've got another key level of 0.390. Came down in a bit of a triangle, but I think I've detected a nice little uptrend. Now I'm just going to zoom down to the 4 hours, then we can see it. See that, Kenny?
Yep.
So it's broken the triangle, you see, which I thought was interesting to the top. So will it want to stay? Will that be out of the triangle? It might come and touch the triangle again, but you can see recently price came up, and you'll probably remember on the 11th it went and touched like 0.280.
Yep, see that, yep.
And then sold off. But is this the new uptrend that's going to take us out to want to test levels at some point in the future? Significant level 0.394. Let's see. It's broken the triangle. It's broken the triangle quite early, which is a bit of a surprise. Sometimes they will run the full cycle of these descending triangles, and sometimes they'll break to the low and then come back in. So let's see whether or not this little uptrend is a thing. But I've drawn it all the same. This is what I see. Let's see what happens. Will it use this previous configuration of this triangle as new support, like it sometimes do, to bounce a little bit, or will it come back in? And then we've got these levels below. But let's see if this little channel is a real thing in the coming weeks and months.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it moves in the coming weeks. Now, moving on. We've had a few requests, but it's only in the last week that we've actually sort of started to collate them. So the first one that I had was Star, STAR, and I think the guy that asked for this, I'm going to read it out, is at Chris WE 223822020. That's
right.
That's
that rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah. But there'll be a reason behind that. That'll mean something to him. So it will. I'm sure he'll tell us.
Yeah, it probably means a night when he was getting stuck into that Jack Daniels pissed and making a Twitter account. Nice one, Chris. It rolls off the tongue, but we'll give it I'm only messing. We'll give it a good go for you, pal. What did he do? Have you any idea?
Starcom, I don't know anything about Starcom. No.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Well, I did a quick chart, yeah. Really big range in macro state. EMA is right through the middle, ranging like a gun, and came down. I won't even bother going to its old to its previous highs. Came down like a good one, and then it's been ranging for the past few years, and then came down in this downtrend. Used this triangle to do it. Hit some all-time lows, but we've got this local action is a tight bandwidth of a range. Significant level for Star by the looks of it is 1.405. Is it going to use this little uptrend that we might have to possibly start testing these levels? Again, it's spiked and consolidated. Again, Kenny, we see this movement all the time in the markets. So we've had a spike, we've got a consolidation. I'll just draw these little levels here, then we can see. Forgive me if it's not the best neatly drawn chart. A level in the short term, I would say, is 1.120. Let's see if price comes up, uses this lower support, and uses it to test this key level of 1. Is it? Yeah, did I say 1.10? Yeah, 1.110. There you go. Right. That's what's going on with Star. Will it use it eventually not eventually, but in the short to medium term to test 1.390? But let's see, and it could break down. Of course it could, but it looks like there's a bit of a trend going on. But the larger market state is a range above it.
Right. Okay. Oh well, there you go, Chris. Not sure you got your
Cheers,
Starcom
Chris.
covered. I think we're quite happy to do a couple maybe in these chartcasts. I mean, we don't want to spend the whole chartcast doing requests, but the odd one is good for a bit of interaction with people from the world of Twitter. Obviously we've covered everything we had down in the list. Is there anything you want to drop into for the last couple of minutes?
Yeah, cheers, Kenny. No problem. And thank you, guys. I've had a few requests as well. And I'm sure you know what? We've covered quite a few of the requests. I was getting a few requests for Prem and stuff. I should have mentioned. I do apologise. I think Prem and ARIK and Blue, I think I had a few inboxes with that. So they've naturally been covered anyway, which is cool.
Yep.
Dead quick, super fast. I'm just going to cover a few that we've covered before, Kenny, if that's all right. SYME, right, done a redraw on the daily. Is this the new trend for SYME? Is it? Are we going to get continued support here? We've got market structure up ahead. It's a tough mover, SYME. It's tricked me a few times. I'm looking on the daily chart. Let's see what happens. Let's see whether or not the buyers want to find support and then actually use this as a trend to start moving it up, right? So that's SYME. Okay, ODX very quickly again. I'll just get to ODX. Speed charting, a bit like speed dating, isn't it? But with candles. Right, so we've got ODX on the day. Again, I think we've got a nice bullish angle for the key location. I think this might be the uptrend with ODX in more local action. Let's see whether or not the buyers come back in. If it does, we've got a nice market structure up ahead for ODX. Was there anything else that I wanted to cover? That's really about it. We can talk about Open Orphan and LOGP another time. It doesn't really matter. Again, we need the buyers to step back in with them, but we've covered a lot of stocks. I hope I've not bored the viewers to death. Thank you for watching. If you've got this far, I hope you find it of some interest.
Yeah. No, I've certainly rattled through them. I mean, that's probably about 45, 50 minutes. So yeah, we've covered them in good time. So yeah, we'll hopefully get this out. We'll get this out Sunday night, I think. Sunday night. People want to forget about working Monday morning, so they do. And Sunday night's always a good night to put something like this out. But as always, it's a pleasure having you on. I think we're up to number 4 now, so it won't be too long. We're into double figures, and we love it. It gives us content. It gets you a chance to get some of your skill sets out in the Twitter world, and it's a winner, chicken dinner. Everybody's happy. So let's keep it going. And until
I really appreciate it. No, it's great. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say until.
Sorry, a bit of a drop off with sound then. Sorry, Kenny, but I appreciate being here, mate. I really do. Thank you.
No, it's good. I mean, I've nothing else to do my Saturday night.
I need to reach out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking the piss.
I need to reach out NTOG at some time soon. It's looking interesting.
As I said, NTOG, yeah, it's. Yeah, we'll put that one first.
Cover that next time.
Yeah, first in the list for the next podcast, NTOG, and we'll take it from there. But all right, no worries. What you got planned for this your Saturday night?
Well, I'm waiting for an Amazon delivery. That's about the extent of the excitingness of my life these days, mate. I'm waiting for an Amazon delivery that should have been coming all day long, and then and then I'll make something to eat. And I might have a drink. You're the highlight of my life for Saturday nights now, Kenny, mate. So just watch out, pal.
Yeah, well, I think I'm going to watch a few episodes of The Crown. I'm kind of hooked in The Crown, so I'll go and give that a couple of episodes now, and we'll see how it goes. It's certainly interesting. But anyway, it's, as always, pleasure having you on, and we will catch up again, no doubt, in the next few days with another ChartCast.
Absolutely. Cheers, mate. There's loads and loads of stocks that we've missed, but at the end of the day, it's only two blocks together. We can only cover so many. Let's try and get through some sooner, Kenny.
Yep.
Some more.
Not a problem. All right, good stuff.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Right. Cheers.